Welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. Today we'll be looking at Range Rover swollen nut. Common problem with Range Rovers, Land Rovers and also Fords, Fiestas, Mondeos is swollen nuts. You'll see what it is. It's a stainless steel cap on a steel wheel nut, and what happens is moisture gets round the back of this here and corrodes behind, swells up the cap, and then you can't get the wheel brace socket on. So what I would advise is try your wheel brace on all the wheel nuts, so you know in an emergency situation you can actually get them off. So the tip I'm really giving you is check your nuts are okay. So I'm just going to have to check what they sent me here, because I think they sent me the wrong thing. Okay, so I've just checked and that is the wrong ball joint. However, I do have more parts. New shiny wheel nuts and a steering gaiter, which was an advisory on the MOT. Actually, no, it wasn't an advisory on the MOT. The advisory on the MOT was the drive shaft gaiter, which I have replaced. Let me show you that. And what I actually did here, I ended up replacing the whole drive shaft there. Basically, you won't believe it, but it was £70 for the whole drive shaft with CVs either end. And it was £40 for two gaiters. So it had been leaking for a while. You don't know how good the CV joint is. So for £70 it's an easy fix. Plug it out, plug it in. But of course, as I was doing that, I noticed the ball joint was playing it, which we're going to have to send back, and the gaiter was split. So we can do the steering gaiter, we can do the wheel nuts, but we can't do the ball joint. How annoying. Yeah, so it's just a good idea now you've got the wheel off, just take the opportunity to have a look inside. The discs are good, there's no lipping on the discs. The pads look fairly recent, they're probably 3/4 good. You can see these are the new ARB anti-roll bar hydraulic pipes that the guy told me he'd had fitted, and also it's obviously had some new hoses there. I think they're for the steering. Generally around the arches it looks fairly clean and tidy. I think what I might do is just give it a good clean down while it's all off, and then we can actually see around inside there, clean the wheel up. So now let's have a look at the rear and see how many we can undo on this side. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all these nuts are good. So let's have a look in here and see what we can see. Right, obviously a lot of dirt and a lot of muck. Bit of corrosion down there, doesn't look too bad. These pads look like they're ready to be replaced. There's probably 2 or 3 mil on them. Side's looking good after it's cleaned up. A little bit of corrosion on this brake disc shield here, just on the edge. But that's okay, that can stay like that, but that's all cleaned up, all that crap's off there now. I'd say it's had a brake hose replaced, because that looks like a copper nickel brake hose there. I don't think that's original. I think there would have been a steel line. And wheels are okay, this tyre's okay, but funny enough, this is only when you sort of notice that the centre cap there is silver and the one on the front wheels is black. So I'm just going to swap them down, so I've got black on one side and silver on the other. But yeah, it's always a good idea to just sort of baseline the vehicle and go around each corner like this, especially on an old car. So this side's a similar story to the other side. A load of probably 14 years of crap built up there on it. Looks like a brake hose has been replaced, and interestingly on this side a caliper has been replaced with a new pad, or a pair of new pads, and interestingly they don't look very worn at all. Now I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of having different brake pads on the same axle at different wear rates and different makes probably. So what I will do is replace the rear pads for a new set. This disc, ironically, it's got a new caliper, yet this disc looks like it's got a bit of wear on it more than the other side. I think it'll live to fight another day, but yeah, new pads this side, good clean up, everything else looks good. Next job is this gaiter that's split. I spotted this here. Now, what I have actually been in here and not filmed it, so I do apologise for that. I replaced the drive shaft here, which, as I said before, was cheaper to replace the whole drive shaft at £70 rather than 2 gaiters at £40. So it's got a whole new drive shaft in. However, I'm going to have to take all this hub off again, because what I want to do is replace that gaiter and also the lower ball joint, which you saw earlier came incorrect. However, just talking to the eBay seller, they've been very good, and they're just going to send me a new one and a return label for that one, so that's quite good. They haven't made a song and dance about returning that one first and then we'll send you your next one. I think I'll just put some tape on that as well, because that looks like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it, with the wiring there chafing through. Right, so let's get this front hub off. I've just taken the ball joint off, and just to crack this off, basically, instead of hitting your spanner to get it on, basically what you can do is, if you need to extend your spanner, just get another spanner, put it on like that, and then that has actually extended your leverage to crack that off, which is what I did. I then only moved that half a turn, wound that off. I have to take that nut off to get the gaiter off. I'm going to measure the length of that so I can get the nut back in the same place, and therefore the steering geometry is correct. We'll probably need the tracking checking afterwards again, just as a belt and braces, but let's just measure that now. Pull off, there we go. And look at all the water that's come out of it as well. Right, so we've got that out of the way, and now let's have a look at this. So this is what we want to replace. Now, as I say, you can replace this whole arm, but a bit like on the Porsche. Now, I'm expecting this to put up a fight. Not the circlet, but the actual bearing to come out. The actual. Right, I'm going to go for a slightly more scientific approach now. I'm going to try pushing it out rather than knocking the shit out of it to come out. I can definitely see a gap opening up underneath. See that gap opening up there? You see that gap there? Just there. Well, it's nearly big enough to put that in. Okay guys, I think this is on the move. I can actually hear it moving. Now then, the question is, have we knackered this arm? Have we done permanent damage to that arm? So back in the garage now, my quandary is, when we thought a gap was appearing underneath on the shoulder, was a gap appearing, or was I actually crushing the two arms together? Okay, so let's have a look at the job situation. So yeah, we need one more wheel nut. Steering gaiter job is done, so that's a win. The lower suspension arm, like I say, a bit of a question mark, and they sent the wrong part. We've still got a rear puncture ×1. We fixed one, but I think it's going to mean we need new tyres. but on a plus point I think the battery is okay and has come good. So I need to get the correct lower ball joint sent to me, maybe replace an arm, I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and wait out for the next episode. Thank you, goodbye.